think the debt and the deficits are very problematic for the American taxpayer. What the administration is trying to do, obviously, is stimulate the economy, as we've heard. What they are doing is building up the debt and the deficit to proportions we have not seen before. This is the biggest tax hike on the American people that we have ever seen. Interest on the national debt is one of the biggest portions of the federal budget, and this is going to affect not only this generation but other generations as well. And it's being held by the Chinese government, most of it, and so it's going to affect our foreign policy. It is very problematic what we are seeing, and it's only going to continue to get worse.
You mentioned the foreign countries. What view do you see foreign countries taking toward the fact that we're running up these deficits, and how long are they going to tolerate the dollar continuing to fall?
Well, the American economy and the American dollar obviously have always been the strongest currency and the safest investment around the world. But we are seeing governments openly question that now. How safe is the American economy? How safe is it to invest in American banks or hold their assets in American dollars? And so the more that confidence begins to erode, it's not only going to hurt our economy, it's going to hurt our trade, it's going to hurt our diplomatic relations, and it's going to act as a snowball. So we've got to be very careful about the amount of debt that we are piling up and giving to the next generation. What we have seen already really doesn't even include anything that has to do with Social Security and Medicare entitlements and a big health care transformation that the administration is putting out as well.
In terms of national sovereignty, because I know that's one of your issues, as the government continues to grow, what does that do to our ability to remain a nation that it does have a sovereign government and a government that fulfills its obligation to take care of those within its borders?
The ability of the American people to determine our own destiny is going to be one of the most important issues over the next 4 years. Erosion of American sovereignty is already happening. Here's what we're seeing. The expansion of government at the national level is going to be mirrored in large part at the international level. The regulations, the added spending, the new bureaucracies that are occurring here in the United States are also going to take place at the international level. Paul Volcker, one of the president's main economic advisors, came out a few weeks ago and says he wants to see more international institutions. He wants to see more international regulation of American banks, American commerce, the United States economy. They are trying to regulate the American economy and harmonize our policies with other economies around the country. That is, our Federal Reserve ought to be checking with other central banks around the globe before they implement policy. Now, obviously, when the Federal Reserve implements or changes policy, they should be taking into account what is happening around the world in other economies. But what they should not be doing is putting the interests of other countries ahead of the United States and the American people in order to have some artificial policy that makes France or the Europeans happy.